My name is Emma, and I am 30 years old. I grew up in a house where freedom was just a word, not a reality. My parents were strict, their expectations towering over me like a wall I could never climb. I was their only daughter, their pride and their responsibility. Academics were everything to them. Art, a waste of time. Sports, a distraction. Friends, only if they were good influences. I loved painting. Colors spoke when words couldn't. In sports, I was on my high school's basketball team, but my parents never came to a game. They believed success meant straight A's, a respectable college, and eventually a well-planned marriage. At 18, I felt like a prisoner in my own home. My dreams were locked away, waiting for a moment of freedom. And then college happened. Moving away for college was my first taste of independence. I felt like I could finally breathe. No curfews, no strict routines, just me, discovering who I was outside of my parents' expectations. That's when I met Ryan. He wasn't like anyone I'd ever known. Carefree, charming, and utterly confident. His eyes held mischief, and his words felt like poetry. "You're different, Emma," he'd say. "Not like the other girls." At 19, I was swept off my feet. Ryan made me feel seen, like I was more than just grades and responsibilities. He encouraged my dreams, at first. "Your paintings are amazing," he'd say, tracing his fingers over my sketches. "You're incredible at basketball. I love that about you." But soon, his words changed. "Do you really need a degree? Wouldn't it be nice if we just had our own life together? I'll take care of you, Emma. You don't need college." And slowly, without realizing it, I started listening. By 21, I had made the biggest decision of my life. I left college to marry Ryan. My parents disapproved, but they didn't fight too hard. They had always believed a woman's place was with her husband. At first, life seemed perfect. We moved into a cozy apartment, decorated it together, and talked about our dreams late into the night. I thought I had chosen love over expectations. Then reality set in. Ryan's charming words turned into little criticisms. "That dress is a bit much, don't you think? Why do you need to go out with your friends so much? You don't have to work, Emma. I provide for us." It wasn't controlling, I told myself. He just cared. Then I got pregnant. Lily was born when I was 22, and for a while, she was the light that kept me going. She had Ryan's eyes, but my quiet determination. I wanted to be the best mother for her, but motherhood didn't soften Ryan. If anything, it made things worse. He started coming home later, his words sharper, his patience thinner. "You're always tired, Emma. You don't even try anymore." I tried so hard. By 25, I was drowning. Ryan's love had turned into something else, something suffocating. My world shrank. My friends disappeared. My art supplies gathered dust in the closet. My basketball shoes sat untouched. I was a wife, a mother, and nothing else. Ryan's moods became unpredictable. Some days, he was the man I fell in love with, bringing me flowers, kissing my forehead. Other days, he was a stranger, his words cutting deeper than any blade. Then came the night I'll never forget. A simple argument. I don't even remember what started it, but I remember the way he grabbed my wrist, the way his fingers dug into my skin. I looked into his eyes and saw something terrifying. Power, control. I told my parents. They told me to be patient. "He's your husband, Emma. Marriage isn't easy." So I stayed. At 27, I had Jake. I thought a second child would bring back the warmth, the love we once had. But Ryan had already checked out. He barely hid his affairs anymore. I'd see the lipstick on his collar, smell the perfume that wasn't mine. And when I confronted him, he only smirked. "Don't start, Emma." I wanted to leave, but how? I had no degree, no job, no savings, just two little kids who needed me. Then one evening, Ryan came home and dropped a bombshell. I'm joining the army. And just like that, he was gone. For the first time in years, I was alone. At first, I was terrified. How would I raise 2 kids without him? How would I survive? But then, something unexpected happened. I found myself again. I started painting again. Late at night when the kids were asleep. It felt like waking up after a long, dark dream. I got a job at a small art store. The pay was low, but it was mine. Ryan tried to come back, whispering promises of change. I miss you, Emma. I miss the kids. Let's start over. But he hadn't changed. He never would. At 30, I finally broke free. My story isn't just about pain. It's about survival. About learning that love shouldn't mean losing yourself. About finding the courage to walk away, even when the world tells you to stay. Ryan's absence should have felt like a relief, but instead, it felt like standing on the edge of a cliff. For so long, I had lived my life according to his moods, his desires. Now that he was gone, I didn't know who I was anymore. I told myself that I missed him. I told myself that things would get better when he came back. But deep down, I knew the truth. Ryan had stopped loving me long before he left. At first, he called often, checking in on the kids. Then, the calls became less frequent. His texts grew shorter. Miss you? How are the kids? Been busy. Talk soon. I convinced myself that he was just caught up in his new life, that he still cared. But the truth was waiting for me in the most painful way. It started with a random message on Facebook. A woman named Samantha. Hey, Emma, I don't know how to say this, but I think we need to talk. My heart pounded as I clicked on her profile. A blonde woman smiling in a picture with Ryan, his arm around her waist. I told myself it could be nothing. Maybe a friend, a coworker. But then, another picture. This time, they were kissing. The world tilted beneath me. My hands shook as I typed back. Who are you? Her reply came fast. Ryan's fiancé. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I don't remember how long I sat there, staring at the screen. Fiancé? I wanted to believe it was a joke, a misunderstanding. But Samantha sent more proof. Texts, pictures, even a video of Ryan proposing to her. He had never mentioned a divorce, never even hinted that he was moving on. Because he never planned to tell me. Tears blurred my vision as I realized the truth. I had spent years fighting for a man who had never fought for me. That night, I called Ryan. He answered on the 3rd ring. Hey, Emma, what's up? Calm, casual. Like he hadn't just shattered my world. I swallowed the lump in my throat. Who is Samantha? Silence. Then a sigh. Emma, I didn't want you to find out this way. This way? My voice cracked. So, there was a right way to tell me you're engaged? He exhaled sharply. Look, I didn't mean to hurt you, but we haven't been happy for a long time. You knew that. I clenched my fist. You never even told me we were over, Ryan. I figured you'd get the hint. The words hit harder than any slap. I had spent years waiting, hoping, believing in a man who had already moved on. And the worst part? He hadn't even respected me enough to tell me the truth. That night, something inside me snapped. I had wasted too much time waiting for Ryan to love me the way I deserved. I wasn't going to waste another second. The next morning, I met with a lawyer. By the time Ryan officially returned home, the divorce papers were waiting for him. I wasn't his to control anymore. I was Emma, and I was finally free. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more.